Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it.
I have one task that I do every day. It's just inbox management. It's a very simple task.
Okay.
I don't trust anyone else to do it.
I've learned through working with women that they don't hear thank you enough.
I actually love that you've hired friends and family and people that you know because you know you can trust them.
Walk me back when you were in the process of starting your thing. How did it develop?
I decided to be intentional about who I wanted to work with.
Yes, it could have gone a very different way.
Yeah.
But if I hired my other sister, we'd be fighting all the time.
Really?
Yeah, she's closer to my age. She's essentially the middle child. So she's very opinionated, strong-willed. You know, my baby sister is like, I just want to be around you.
That's so
I want to
sweet.
be friends. I want to have your opinion. It's so different. So I'm very blessed that it's worked out as long as it has. She'll call me and say, I just feel like any day you're going to fire me because I'm the weakest link. And I'm like, okay, here's baby sister talking. Thank you. And so, you know, I'm very blessed in that way. And really, it's like that with all of my team members. They are friends or family. So I went against everything people say not to do when you're hiring.
Okay.
My first hire was my best friend.
Amazing.
And now she's our CFO.
Okay.
Then we hired her best friend. Then we hired her sister.
Okay.
And then my sister. So we're all friends and family.
Isn't there something to be said about trust, though?
Yes.
Like when you're building that type of team?
Absolutely.
Because I find, so I work by myself right now.
Okay. One man
Owner,
show.
operator, just me.
Yeah. How's
And-
HR for that? It's fun. Get away with everything.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I'm at a point where I'm really grateful. I've had a lot of growth, and I'm at a point where I'm at that kind of turning point of like, I probably need to hire someone.
Sure.
And I'm going on
you're
vacation.
preaching this to everybody.
Yes.
So you're having this inner battle.
Yes.
Where you're telling everyone, delegate, outsource.
Yes.
And now it's your turn. Walk me through that.
And it's so hard.
Yeah.
But I have a vacation coming up, and I have one task that I do every day. It's just inbox management. It's a very simple task.
Okay.
I don't trust anyone else to do it. I just don't
Email
trust
management
them to
is
do
one
it.
of the hardest ones to outsource. Why do you think that is? What are we doing in our emails that feels so personal?
You know, for me, I pride myself on knowing the expectation of my client.
Yeah.
And so to outsource that to someone else and not know that they have that same respect for a client's expectations is really hard for me. And so I'm trying to figure out like what to do. Cause I'm like, do I let the client know that I'm just going to be out and like but that seems bad. I don't want her to have to
where's
figure that
Alyssa
out.
gonna go?
Like what's going on?
What would you tell your clients if they were like, Alyssa, I feel like my email bogs me down? Because you say a simple task. Email management takes up a huge part of my day.
It does. It does.
Especially if do you keep yours up most of the day?
Yes. All day long.
And if you just worked in your email, that'd be your whole job.
Oh, it very well could be.
So
absolutely.
What would you tell someone that was at this place? Because
Well,
this is
that's
the
the
easy
thing.
part where you could tell someone
Oh
else
my
what
gosh,
to
of
do.
course. Of course, like hire someone. Like you need to delegate that task.
Absolutely.
But to the earlier point of trust, I think that's crucial in who you're hiring, which is why I actually love that you've hired friends and family and people that you know, because you know you can trust them.
That's
like
where
if
my
I could
trust
hire
goes.
my sister to do this for me, I know she would do it because we're like-minded. Like she knows that this is a job and a task that needs to get done. I can trust her with that. But she's very busy. She's a teacher at the school for the blind. She doesn't have the capacity to do this type of thing for me, right? She really is. Love her so much. So that's kind of a
trust.
I do think that that's so important. And I love what you've done because I feel like you can probably wholly trust that your team is doing what they're supposed to be doing and that they've got your back.
100%.
You know?
That they love the business as much as I do. I'm not the only one that cares about it as much as I do. They all care about it because they are all in it and invested as much as I am.
Absolutely.
And I think the email management was one of the hardest things. So I can hire bookkeepers, accountants, CFO, and that felt easier because there's a skill and it's essentially the job description can fit on one piece of paper in a beautiful little bow. An executive assistant, a virtual assistant, any kind of assistant, the tasks are vast. Email management feeling the most personal. I felt that way about social media too at first, where you want people to feel like they're speaking to you,
Sure.
that you are still in the business, but there's only one you.
Such a shame.
I know, if I could just, And so when I hired our executive assistant, who is also a best friend, that was probably one of the last things that I had asked her to do was the email management.
Okay.
And I had to trust through the other tasks she was doing, social media, proposals, things like that, and watch how she did it. Listen to how she valued client interaction and, the way that she responded to things, and the trust started growing more and more. Eventually, we now have a shared email.
Okay.
And so it felt kind of vulnerable because my work email is all my email. So,
Sure.
There's emails from the nurse saying little one, bonked his head, but he's all right. But then there's also like, hey, your mortgage is due in this many days. But then there's client emails. So it is a trust thing. It's you're letting them behind the scenes. But she does a phenomenal job. And when I did that, I felt now I still get in there because I'm nosy. And I want to know, is my mortgage due on a different day or is it still the first? Like it's always the same, but I'm like, maybe. So I love that because I'm a big outsourcer.
Yeah.
I love
Good for
delegating.
you.
So I saw that. I'm like, oh, yes, this is my jam. So walk me back when you were in the process of starting your thing.
Okay.
How did it develop?
Yeah. So I am very honest with everyone. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Never thought I would be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Told my husband many times, like,
Not me.
no, I'm not starting a business. Like, no, I don't want to do that. And I had worked, I've worked since I was 18. Every role I got into, I would work my way up to management. And then I would get bored.
Yeah.
And then I would like, okay, next, like
Need to
what's
go
next?
something
What's
else.
next? Because one thing about me is I always have to be learning and growing. Like I have to feel that type of.
You have something to work towards. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly. And just even if it's just as simple as like now I work with a diverse clientele on purpose so that I can learn different industries.
Yeah.
Which it just keeps me going.
Love
So I would get to this point in all of the businesses I was working within that there was no hire. There was no next.
We're
step.
done here.
Exactly. Like you're just going to do this for the rest of
Yeah.
your life. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
We got to keep moving.
Exactly.
We got to keep moving.
So the last company I worked for in a more like traditional role was a longstanding hair salon on Frankfurt Avenue.
Okay.
They the stylist had purchased it from the previous owner.
Okay.
And I'd worked with them in like 2017. So this is now 2021.
Okay.
And they were, they had called me and they were like, hey, here's what we did. Would you be interested in coming back to like help us initially just run the front desk? Cause that's what I'd done before.
Okay.
And I'm like, absolutely, I can do that.
Yeah.
But here's what else I can do for you. So I really helped them to implement procedures and really kind of was just the operational manager of the salon.
Yep.
And I did that for 2 years. And then again, we got to the point of conversations of like, well, what's next? Like what happens after this? And they were like, well, we really just see you, just running the salon and doing this. And it was just at the front desk day in and day out. And I did do, scheduling and
sure. There's so much
inventory.
involved. I've been
and
a
all
front
the
desk
things,
girl
right?
at a salon. Like I know.
But at the end of the day, it was all the same.
Yep.
I could do it in my sleep.
Oh, you have a list. This is what I do every day.
Yes. Yeah. And it was just honestly a little bit exhausting to do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I was like, I don't love this.
Yeah.
I love the industry. Don't love the job. And I'm like, there's no growth. So like, what's next? And I had met a lady at the salon. She was a client and she was splitting her time between here and LA.
Okay.
And she ran a nonprofit.
Famous. And a nonprofit?
Yes, I know.
Okay, girl.
So she ran a nonprofit organization that was arts-based. And I love creative fields. That's why I worked in a hair salon.
Yes.
I love fashion. I love all the things. And so I was like, oh, that's fantastic. She was like, I'm opening a branch or I'm starting a branch here in Louisville. Would you be interested in doing some assistant stuff for me?
For the nonprofit.
For the nonprofit.
Okay. This is a different
Oh,
thing.
it's a shift.
So you're like, yes, I am.
It's a
I don't know
shift.
what the job is yet, but I love it 'cause
Exactly.
it's different.
And I was like, you know what? Yes. And she does events. So she does art-based events for trauma survivors of any type of trauma.
okay.
And so what she'll do is kind of like healing through art. And the art workshops are different, you know, depending on who they're for. But I was like, I love this idea. Like, this is awesome. This is new. So I'm learning.
Yep.
And so I was like, great.
Art-led, it's good.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. And so I started out kind of part-time with her. And then the work was great. Getting to know kind of a very, you know, the nonprofit world was just a very different world to be in. There's a lot of just networking and meeting people and shaking the hands and doing your rounds, like a lot of networking, which was all new to me, but I enjoyed it. And so I was like, you know what? I know I don't want to be at the salon. Let's just try this out and see how this goes.
Go all in.
So I helped her to, you know, create some procedures for hair in Louisville, helped her to make some connections here in the area because she was brand new.
Yeah.
And then also basically did all of the coordination and the event management for all of the events that she hosted, which was probably maybe like 3 to 4 in the year, but one of which being at Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life. So pretty large scale, you know.
She did events at the
Installations, yeah.
music fest.
Yeah,
So cool.
she did.
That's
so
cool.
that was really cool. So I was with her for a year and just honestly realized like I'm running a business.
Yeah, I'm already doing it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I was, you know, contracting with her. So I was already on my own. I was already independent. And I was like, well, there's something to this.
Yeah.
I feel something is happening here.
That I'm doing similar things
Yes.
in different industries.
Absolutely. And so that's really where I had that kind of mindset shift of, oh, wait, I might be an entrepreneur.
Me? Am I already doing
Who would have
this?
thought? And of course, like I told you, like my husband has always been super supportive and has pushed for this for so long. Like had I started when he first started pushing me, like I'm sure I'd be a millionaire by now. Like,
yeah, so much further.
you know,
But we don't listen to them. We
No,
need
we
someone else to say it first. They'll say it and it'll feel like a new idea when someone else says it and they're in the background like,
I can't tell you how often that happens.
Yeah,
He's like, but why
same.
didn't you listen to me? And I'm like, I don't know.
don't ask me stupid questions. Yes, totally get that.
But I do give him honestly all of his props because I'm like, he has been telling me that I could do this.
Yeah.
And so that's really where the idea came from. So then the work with her was great, but it got to a point where it was really event based. And I have a love-hate relationship with events. Yeah. I'm very good at them because I'm extremely organized in the logistics. It's just how my brain works. But if you've ever done an event, you know, it's terrible hours.
Yeah.
The day of is usually just insane,
Chaos.
just nuts.
Yeah.
And it can just be exhausting. Like the last event that I did was, that I was fully invested in was in like around the holidays. And I'm not kidding when I said it takes like 3 days for me to recover now from an event of that
event
caliber. It's like an
hangover.
all day event.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's see what I'm doing that I actually like. So that's the behind the scenes, the organization, the setup,
Okay.
but not necessarily the day of.
Not the execution part.
Correct.
Right.
And so then I was like, okay, well, what am I doing? I'm doing assisting. I'm kind of a virtual assistant of sorts.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, other people need this. So let me just see what I can find.
do.
And so I had this idea to be very intentional with my targeting of my first like round of clients.
Okay.
And so, well, let me back up. I started working because I left the like assistant position with the nonprofit, and I was unemployed for a while I was figuring out my business.
Reflection time.
And my husband was
Doing
taking
his
care of our
thing.
household. And he really just encouraged me to like, don't get another job. Just focus on this because I know that it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And so it was,
How special.
it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
It was incredibly hard.
feel
There were a
more
lot of
pressure.
tears.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, what am I doing? Am I
Yeah.
doing the right thing? Is this even going to work? And then I ended up meeting someone who was needing a project management position filled
Okay.
at the digital marketing agency. In a woman-owned business, which love working with women.
Yes.
Can't say that enough. Love working with women. And she, like, I went in and I had an interview, and it was a temp to hire, so kind of like a contract position.
Okay.
And she was great, and I started the work, and it was hard. It was a lot. It was a lot. I've never been in that industry, and it's like they're doing websites, they're doing branding, they're doing video shoots. Like I was all over the place, but I loved it.
Yeah,
because I love learning.
You're learning something new.
And it pushed me. It pushed me to have to actually focus and work hard. And like this is a new industry, so I'm learning all these new terms and what does this mean? Or what do I do about this? And so navigating that was just a really fun experience. And so we got to the point where she wanted to offer me full-time employment, and the numbers just didn't, the math wasn't mathing.
Right.
And I was like, I can't do that. And so we continued on contract, and then kind of, there was like a lull. And then she had asked me to come back. And she was like, I'll just on a contract basis, just come back. Yeah. You know, we'll just keep your rate. We'll just keep going.
Broke, don't fix
yes.
it. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So she is my client still to this day.
Beautiful.
Love working with her, love working with her company. But that was actually the point where I was like, okay, if I'm going to be contracting, this is great, but I'm going to need more clients.
Yeah.
And so that's when I decided to be intentional about who I wanted to work with.
Sure.
And so I drafted up personalized letters for all these woman-owned businesses in the area.
Fun.
Some very well known, some that I had never personally, but I know that other people.
Yeah.
And I also, so I make jewelry. I make earrings. I'm a creative girly.
Yeah.
And so I made these little kind of friendship bracelets, and they were all very unique to their business or any personal thing that I knew about them.
Yes,
just
very
to, as a very, nice little gift. And I packaged them all in envelopes, and I went and personally hand delivered them and introduced myself. And just really that's out of my comfort zone. That's not something I've ever done before, but I learned from the marketing agency, they had done some things similar in the sense of like the intentionality behind it, of like picking who you want to work with and going after those people. And I just really like that, because I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
the worst they can say is no.
Well, yeah. And the more that people feel like you're interested in them as an individual versus just more business,
Absolutely.
more likely they are to sign.
Absolutely.
Even if they're not sure how that looks, they feel like, man, they picked me.
Yes.
They want to work with me. It feels special.
So I did about 10 to 12, I think. And I ended up landing 2 clients out of that.
Nice.
I will say it wasn't right away.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in follow-ups. And I do a lot of follow-ups.
Nice.
I will introduce myself. I will reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
I will reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
Just depending on who it is and who I
business
want to work
owners
with.
need that. Some people think it's the follow-ups can feel naggy. And as a business owner, it is not naggy. Like, you need the persistent follow-ups, because those are, you read it and you think, that would be so fun to work with Alyssa. Oh, I have a problem. I need to go fix that.
And timing is everything too. Because when you
Yes.
first read that, you might not be in a place, which
Right.
is what one of my clients ended up happening. I met with her, talked to her in person. She said, I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm not in a place to be able, like, this is not in my budget right now.
Right.
And I was like, no big deal. Like,
And
I just let you know
she
what I'm
obviously
doing.
didn't feel like she really needed it yet.
Absolutely.
Because people will find the budget if they really need it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And fast forward maybe 2 months, and things had shifted in her business. And she was now at a point where not only was it maybe in the budget, but she needed it, to your point.
Yeah.
Some things changed. She had someone who was leaving, and she was like, oh gosh, like I have a gap now and I need this filled. Oh, wait.
And I remember you
I can
because
call
you
Alyssa.
followed up. You brought me that gold bracelet. Yes, I
Yes.
love that. The
Yes.
first impression stood out.
Absolutely. And so that's really how I got my start.
Okay.
That was a very long story.
Oh,
Sorry.
I love long stories. I'm here for it. I'm like, I wish I was in front of a fire, just like listening. I love this. No, I love a long story. We have a lot of parallels too. So, as far as supportive husband,
Okay.
I've realized through talking with a lot of different kinds of people in different industries, different backgrounds, that's very rare.
Good to know.
Very rare. And I didn't know that, because you don't know what you don't. I mean, you
sure.
just know what you have.
Right.
Husband was also supportive, where he was like, I think you could do this on your own. I grew to a position very quickly, a position I thought I would take till my mid 40s.
Okay.
And I was 29. And I was like, oh no, I girl bossed too hard and now I don't know where to go. So I get that, where you feel like I have to keep working towards something. People tell you you'll be a CFO in your 40s, you're 29 of a multi-million-dollar company. And you think I should feel grateful, not bored,
Sure.
and I should just ride this out. good health insurance, good owner, but I'm bored. Like a weird thing to leave a job for. Supportive husband in the background saying, what are you doing? You could do this on a different scale with a different money cap, essentially. I wrote letters to all the local CPA firms and said, hey, need help with your QuickBooks? I know y'all hate doing accounting or hate doing the bookkeeping part. I'm just me and I love QuickBooks. And that's how but I hand wrote the letters.
Amazing.
Delivered them. So a lot of parallels.
I love
it. When you first started, you mentioned you were really trying to think about the type of clients you wanted. You landed on women-owned businesses. I love that. My entire team they're all women.
I love that.
So
I love that for you.
it's a different. What do you think makes that so special and different than working with men? Because I came from construction. I was
okay.
High up in the financial world, a CFO of a multi-million-dollar construction company. A lot of men, a handful of women, shifting to an all-women team, and I definitely there was huge differences, but most of them were positive.
Okay.
And so I'm interested to see how the why and what makes that different, the special.
Okay. So I'm sure all of us women that have worked within businesses have worked for a man.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
because that's the world we live in. And gosh,
how do you put magic into words?
I know. Well, I'll say I've never had a woman in a leadership role be demeaning or aggressive or inappropriate, not necessarily on like that level, but just like unprofessionalism, right? And I find that women are inherently grateful for your help. They're usually super kind.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe just because I'm also a woman, I have some relatability to them that I don't have with a male. Yeah. I have had some male bosses some that were very creative, like creatively, like genius, right?
Yeah.
Just amazing creative talents.
Yeah.
But the way that they would communicate with their staff or even their partners in business, I just could never, I will never respect that.
Yeah.
And so it really tainted to me my view on them, because even though I learned a lot from them and they had a lot of value, whether it was their creative skill or their leadership, mentality and mentorship, it was just like, when I hear you yelling at a woman who's your partner in business,
it's not giving.
It's going to be a no for me. Truly.
I love that.
And then I've also had male bosses who, for lack of a better word, were just stupid.
Yeah.
Just did not know what they were doing.
Here.
I continue to wonder, because he now works at a very large company doing some very important things. And I'm just like, this guy? This guy that I worked with?
Yeah.
So I love women. I think we're brilliant. I think that we're resilient.
Yeah.
I think that we have a lot to bring to the table, and they're underserved.
Yeah.
There's not enough respect, in my opinion, for women in business, because we do it all. Yeah. We do it all, and we get no help, and we get no respect for it. And it's just, we make it happen. Yeah. And I love that. I love that about us. And I keep telling my husband, I'm like, a woman needs to be in the White House. I swear to you, things would be better.
Things could be happening at the same time. It's called multitasking.
Why do men not have that ability? I will never understand.
It's not there.
Yes, it's really not. So those are really the main reasons. I just truly think that what we bring to business and to the world, we are magic. To your point, we are magic. And being able to just, the women that I work with are so phenomenal. They're doing amazing things. Both in their professional and their personal lives, and just to even be able to help them with that, or help them get to the next level, or make it feel as though they're not underwater.
Everything.
My job's done.
It's everything.
I love that.
I love that you said the gratitude. I've worked with a lot of men, especially because most of my financial positions before starting my firm were construction.
Okay.
Of different types. And all of them were male owners. And I've had some great bosses and I've had some doo-doo bosses, you know? And so I've seen great leadership in a different way. And I've seen I'll never do it that way kind of way.
Yes.
Yes. And my father-in-law was, you know, one of those bosses, and not the doo-doo bosses, because that would be weird if I was saying that on the podcast about my father-in-law.
Maybe in editing.
It'd be spicy. No, my father-in-law was one of those great bosses. And I took a lot of the things that he did and turned them, you know, into our processes. So I think they're out there. I just think they're not loud.
Yes.
You know, the ones that are the doo-doo ones are the loud ones.
Unfortunately.
Yes. And gratitude is a huge one. And I've learned through working with women that they don't hear thank you enough.
Agreed.
And I didn't realize that because you, as the eldest daughter, as a leader, you know, I don't hear thank you. So it wasn't second nature to say it when you don't receive it. And every time we'd get off a meeting, you know, I'd get off a meeting with my team, or every time I would do one-to-ones with my team, or just message them to say, hey, how are you doing? And thank you. It was such a reminder that I should make this a normal thing.
I love that.
And so, yes, gratitude's a big one. Relatability. I remember in the construction world when a woman found out she was pregnant, there was such panic.
Oh, sure. What are we going to do?
Oh my gosh, everything
She's not
has
going to be able
change.
to do anything anymore.
Right, a baby. You know, we hired a woman with no children. We thought this was a good thing. And then the baby and then the daycare. And now she's not going to be able to perform like she did, like pure chaos.
Insanity.
And preparing what you're going to do, you know, when she's out, because in their mind, when she's out, it's going to be 6 months.
Sure.
Like they just don't know. And I will tell you, in 5 years in business, we've had probably 4 to 5 babies come through.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
It's wild. I didn't realize that would be the reality.
Of working with all of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what my husband said. He's like, you all are around the same age. Like, you're the only one that's like, not me, but because I'm done. But
well, that's such a shift though, because if you worked with all men before, it's not really, it's like a
it's not
one-off.
it is.
But then
you know the pregnant girl.
Right.
You know who the pregnant girl is. And you know, like, she's pregnant. Like, you whisper it, you know, like, don't talk about it. But the team, I've had 4 or 5 babies come through at this point. I've got a pregnant one right now, due in next month.
Oh, amazing.
And so it's such a shift. And so the gratitude was a big one, but the relatability was the next biggest sparkle that I find working with women brings, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. You want to grow your family. That doesn't make you less of an accountant. Like, it makes you a human being. And we get to share that together. And our team meetings are full of babies.
I love that.
Babies, toddlers, if it's spring break, older kids,
Sure.
you know, and they're chaotic, but they're so beautiful. I feel like I get to watch these kids grow up. I've had women that were back to work days later, and I was like, girl,
take some time.
Yeah, and she's like, I need it. Don't take this away from me, you know? But then I've had girls that took 6 to 8 weeks, and the business did not suffer.
Yeah.
Like, we had systems in place. So I want to circle back, you know, speaking about working with women, systems and processes. What do you find that there are different kind of systems or different ways that women need systems or look at systems than men? Maybe it's hard to speak on because you mostly work with women, but I find that in the accounting world, we do talk to business owners about processes. It comes up.
Okay.
It's not, we're not necessarily creating them, but we are helping them implement it.
Sure.
And so it looks different. It's upload receipts on Friday. Like, you're getting stressed out and waiting until the end of the month. And we're also stressed out because you waited until the end of the month.
Right.
Let's do this every Friday. And so we're helping them implement that. Or, hey, we need your bank statement by this day, and we're going to put a reminder on our calendar and put you on it so it pops up and reminds you, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just do this. When it comes to the men and women, the men look at it from a tactical, practical way. The women look at it like, how can I fit this into my life and feel okay about it? Men say, well, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Women say, well, I take my kids to school at 8. I get home by 8:30. 9 o'clock feels rushed. Give me some, like, let's do 10. Very different ways that they look at systems and processes. Have you noticed anything like that? Or you're like, no, I just work with the best beings on the planet.
No, and I do actually need to note that I have one man on my roster.
Hey,
and
he must be a special
fantastic.
kind. I was going to say.
He's so great. And actually, I was like, oh my gosh, I said all that stuff. He's going to be like, what the hell?
I think that every time
he's
my husband
fantastic.
watching this, like, this
He's
is
a creative,
Ashley.
which I
Welcome to
love.
the girls' room.
Right.
You know?
And he's a creative. And what made me think of this while you were talking is I find that women are very, like, they are open to hearing what maybe is off in their business or what could use some organization or some structure.
Okay.
I've
More
found
open to it.
they're more open to it. They're willing to, well, number one, when I introduce what I do, the main response from women that I get is like, oh, everyone needs you. Like, everyone could use this. I need this. So that's number one, is like they can easily identify like, oh, I could benefit
The
from someone who
value.
can help me to get my systems in order and to help me with my operations.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And the reason why it made me think of my male client is because he was the same way. So when I first sat down with him and we started to talk about what he needed and I identified a few things, I think that I opened his eyes to some things that he could be doing differently. But he was very open to it. And I found in my experience working with men, like within their businesses, is that they're very, they are structured, to your point, but almost to a fault of this is the way and the only way.
Yeah.
And so if you had an idea about, oh, how this could work better, specifically in your, let's call it a department. So I'm the professional here in my role, and I'm telling you that this could be different. It could be easier. It could be smoother. It could be more productive. And you're saying, no, like, this is the way.
Yeah.
That, I feel like, to me, is the main difference. And I know that sounds really negative towards men again, but I'm like, why are you this way?
Yeah, there's just fix yourself, like work on yourself. But that is very true. It's a lot of, it's always been this way. I don't see a problem. Even though I'm telling you all these problems, like there's nothing wrong with the process. We see that a lot. We do see when we sign a new client on, we say, hey, here's our, we don't call them boundaries, but here's our things you can expect from us.
Okay.
And their boundaries, their communication boundaries, you know, there's no emergency in the accounting world.
Right.
Everything can be prepared for. And if it wasn't, then, you know, we talk about it and whatever. And so our response time is up to 72 hours, but most of the time we're pretty quick.
Okay.
We just say, you know, communication ranges, 24 to 72 hours, especially during tax time.
Sure.
And the women are like, oh, we love that.
Amazing.
We love a boundary.
Yes.
Thank you for saying we don't have meetings after 5. And that's even on the later side for some of us. We don't work on the weekends. You know, you can send us an email, but you're not going to get a response.
I also just really quickly want to point out, these are very normal things.
These are not crazy.
These are normal.
It's not crazy, right? And the women are the ones that are like, yes, thank you for setting that boundary. You know, it also helps me because they recognize that maybe they're working in the evenings and they don't want to. And it's us, giving permission for them to do those things. But most of the time, I would say more than half the time, we do have our male clients that just call. But it's a landline and it gets forwarded to my cell phone. And most of the time I don't answer it because I'm like, it's 7. They're the ones that demand the meetings right away, get mad, you know, when we're like, hey, like we said we have 72 hours, like we have a pile, like this is how it goes. So I love that you said that. And it's just different. It's not, if it works for them, it works for them. But there is something special, different about working with women. So when you go into a business, and we won't just say a women-owned business, when you go into a business.
Any business, sure.
Because there are unicorns out there.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you married a unicorn.
Yes.
Same. Okay.
Love him so much.
We just wanted to give love where it's
Love
needed.
him so
Love's
much.
Need. When you go into a business, what's your process? How do you, your consultation, your initiation, if you will, because it's a qualifier for both. It's not.
Sure.
You know, what happens? What do you ask? What do you look for?
Yeah.
I think everyone should be looking at their systems and processes like all the time. Not everyone in the business, but every business should be looking at their systems. But what are some things you do?
Yeah. So typically when people reach out to me, and I'm grateful to have had a lot of like referrals and meeting in person, and that's how.
Because you're a networking fiend. Like
I do a lot of networking.
so good at it. Okay. I digress.
I do a lot of networking, but to me, it's essential because what I don't do is social media, which I know is like a no-no. I don't do any social media at all.
What do you mean?
For my business. I have all the personals, but I don't do any social media for my business. So all of my business comes from networking and meeting people, people referring, people, past clients who come back.
Okay.
And I do feel very grateful for that. I just want to say, because I know in this day and age, social media is the thing. Like I'm sure someone would tell me that I'm doing it wrong because I'm not doing social media.
Nothing? Sorry.
No.
I'm shooketh.
I know.
I wasn't expecting that.
I know. I do post, I like to make
LinkedIn?
little TikToks.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I'll make a TikTok of like my day, because since I have such a diverse clientele.
You're all over the place. People want to know where you're going.
Yes, and I'm doing fun things. Like I was in Cincinnati doing a video shoot for this industrial manufacturing plant. They make this giant piping that you would put like underground or in these like, honestly, it's a little bit above my head on like what actually is happening.
Oh, sure.
But these pipes are like being like taken up and then across the facility.
Oh, yeah. That's fun.
They're like welding and sparks are flying. Just things that me in this, like never thought I would be there.
Why are you there?
But it's so
you
cool.
look out of place, but
it's so cool.
You're probably watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the gentlemen who work there on a daily basis are probably like, get a load of this girl.
Look at that girl.
Look at this girl.
But that's cool
things like that are so
see.
fun. And so I love to do little videos of like, basically like, this is what I'm doing. Look at this cool thing that these clients are doing. Because again, my clients are so cool. So I like to showcase that. But aside from, and that's on my personal page. But aside from that, and like on Instagram, I'll like do a story occasionally. But like, no, I'm not.
Do you post on LinkedIn?
I do have a LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
I
your
will say I
personal.
haven't gotten a lot of success. Like I've reached out to some people through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I've done some posts about, when I started my business, obviously I went ahead and like made some posts about like, this is what I'm doing.
Hey, this is
But
what I have.
I've gotten no traction. So I'm not very active. I don't
convert
like,
well on
someone
LinkedIn.
someone added me. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know. What is it called? Like a connection or something?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't convert
call
on
everyone
LinkedIn.
friends.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the platform.
Friends of friends of friends. I don't convert on LinkedIn either.
Yeah,
we
that's
do
an
a
interesting.
few, but it's weird. I'm friends with this. Her name's Allie, and she's about to do a little name change, but right now it's 2A Talent Resources, and she does HR.
Oh, very cool.
And she was telling me LinkedIn is like one of the top platforms for like getting business, referrals and things like that. And I'm like, girl, it must be a me thing then.
Yeah,
I didn't think I
wonder what she's doing to like. Is she very active?
Well, she's like helping people hire and things like that. And then it definitely felt personal because I was like, okay, you're saying this thing, but like this is not for me.
It doesn't work for me, so don't feel bad.
Okay,
like
so
I'm in the same boat.
That's so weird. Okay, so no
which
social
makes me
media.
wonder, like maybe if it's industry specific of like if LinkedIn works for you or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's
maybe it's my profile picture. I don't know. There's all these like different. It doesn't bother me. I'll say that. I'm not mad that I don't fit into the LinkedIn box.
If you're staying busy,
yeah, like I'm
then,
good. If I was like hurting for business and like I need to really think outside the box, I don't even think LinkedIn would be the one. I would be like, let's amp up our LinkedIn.
I honestly only think of it when I'm going through my emails and like clearing things out, and I see all the little updates.
Connection.
Yeah,
you have a new message.
It's like the only time, and then I'm like, oh, LinkedIn, and then I'll log in and like accept, and then I'm like, all right, bye.
Yes.
See you next year.
I don't even. Yes. Same. Okay. So no social media.
Sorry. Okay. So back to the original question about my process. I'm sorry.
I'm a rambler.
I got off there.
I'm a rambling man.
So all that to say, when clients come to me, they usually already know that they have some sort of issue or some sort of project that they want to focus on.
Okay.
So we'll usually do a coffee meet because I'm a coffee junkie. So
in person?
Yeah.
Okay, so all of your clients are local?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, with the exception of one woman who I work, she's in like the Frankfurt area, but local-ish.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think our first initial conversation was via phone, and then a lot of what we did was like receipt digitization. So I had to like be in person for that.
Sure.
But yes, most of my clients are local. And so I'll meet with them and I'll just honestly just ask them about their business.
Yeah.
To me, it's very important to know what is going on. Like, what's the day to day?
Okay.
You know, what you have this issue. How did you find out that you have this issue? And then I start to ask those questions that uncover more than they even probably thought was going on.
Of course, always. Yeah.
But I do find that even in a personal setting, people just like to like spill their guts to me. I don't know why.
I think it's your face.
Is it?
I do. Sorry. In the best of ways, in a good way, not a bad way.
I take it as a compliment because I'm like, if you
is.
trust me enough
Yeah.
to tell me what you're going through, whether it's positive or negative, like I appreciate that.
You have a trusting face.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing, so I'll add that to my resume maybe.
Trusting face.
So they'll kind of let me know what's going on. And then I take, I'm a notes girl, so I'll take very detailed notes.
You bring your remarkable.
on my remarkable.
I mean, I love that so much.
Sponsor my girl.
Yes.
And I'll make sure that I get a full story because like I said, a lot of times when I meet with someone, they're not clear maybe, like they might have one issue.
Okay. What
Like
are some
for
common?
instance, yeah,
we're going.
so the woman I do inbox management for, she has been running her.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
You're doing inbox management for someone?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's just a small part of what I do.
So you're doing that for someone else, but we can't have someone do it for us.
I know.
Okay.
It's okay.
I just want.
Okay.
We're all working on ourselves. We're all work in progresses.
It's all part of the process.
Okay, so we're working with a lady on inbox
Yes.
management.
So she has been running this business by herself for, I think at this point, 6 years, if not longer.
Oh wow.
And she's doing phenomenally.
Okay.
She's about to open a second location. And everything's great. It works. Let me back up. Everything works, but it's not great.
Okay.
So we started with inbox management because she's in the day-to-day. She's actually doing the things that need to get done in her business. So she doesn't have time to do the inbox management. And what she's noticed is that she had some client relation issues because people were messaging her or putting in orders and they weren't getting a quick turnaround, which for any business owner, you know,
That's it. That'll
like
kill it.
It will. And so I had to, I kind of stalked her because she would post that she was like, I'm the only one managing this inbox. Please be patient. Please be patient. Well, I wrote her. I was like, hey girl. And then I wrote her again. And that's why I say follow-ups are so crucial to what I do.
Yeah.
So we finally meet and we talk about the inbox portion. And then that made me, like I had a lot of questions because I'm like, well, what happens after this? Well, what are you doing with this? Well, what is your process? Well, how does this work? And so that's really how I get to the base of like, yes, you need inbox management, but you also need, right? But you also need, and so we, I go and after I figure out the full story, I take my notes and I compose that into a plan, like a plan of action.
Okay.
And I'll send them to, I don't like contracts and things like that. Like I just do like a proposal. And so I'll fill all that out and send it in a really cutesy little way, send them everything they need. And it'll be a full recommendations. I'm very transparent on
you may need all these things.
What you could benefit from.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm also flexible. And I understand that working with small businesses, there are budgets.
We're not there. Yeah.
Right. And I also like a step-by-step of like, this is top priority, what you need today.
Yeah.
This is maybe in the next month, in the next year, depending on who you are and what your business is.
Right.
And really lay that out for them so they get a very clear idea of what I can do for them, what's needed. And then I also might include some things that I think they could benefit from, but I don't personally do. Like for instance, I don't do any social media management because that is a full-time job, probably for someone younger than me and who is active on social media, which I am not. So I'm very clear about that. But I also, if I notice that there is something that they could benefit from, I'm still going to list it and say, hey, you might want to look into this. If you want recommendations, I do have a network of people.
Love that.
I'd be happy to connect you.
You're doing a full, essentially a full business audit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's my favorite part of my job.
Is
I
it?
love it.
Finding out what they need.
Yes. And actually, we didn't talk about this. This has been something that's in the works, so I gave you no prep on this, but I'm shifting into a bit of a new business model that's more focused on the operational support and less on the me doing the inbox management.
Oh, yeah.
More on the uncovering the problems, the fixing the systems. So I'm going to do a full rebrand and everything. So that's coming soon. But just to give you a basis of kind of like where my mind is now, it's definitely on that part of like doing the audits, figuring out what systems we can put in place, and then following through, whether that's myself helping them to create those systems. One day I'll have a staff, I think.
You will have a staff. Yes, you will have a staff.
To do some of the ongoing, the inbox management, making sure that the CRMs are up to date and things like that.
Yeah. Would it be crazy to say what you're describing is being somewhat of a fractional COO?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I'm picking up. We hired one on a project basis.
Okay.
And it was a very similar process.
Okay.
In a way, obviously, yours is top notch.
Oh, well,
And it's going to be an amazing thing. But yeah, she kind of came in. She was in California and it's beautiful and just radiated sunshine because she's in California.
love that.
She has the sun on her face all the time. But yeah, she came in and sat in on a couple of our meetings. I gave her our sob story, but what she found was nothing what I sobbed about. She was like, it just sounds like you need to stop taking on new things. And I was like, I know, girl, but I can't. But yeah, she kind of came in, she switched to our CRMs from Honeybooks to Go High Level.
Okay.
She did that transition over, set up all of the automations that go into
Amazing.
Go High Level,
Okay.
with invoicing and proposals and blogs and things like that. And really, she did a ton of SOPs. Now, I don't know how much my team looks at it because I have long-standing team members, friends, and family. Don't have a high turnover, but we have SOPs.
But they're likely already doing those things, right?
Yes.
Because she's just documenting what's already getting done.
The process. Right. So if we do have new people come in, a lot of those things, onboarding, she did automations with onboarding.
Amazing.
So yes, very helpful. I didn't say any of those things to her at all. So I can see such value in what you're doing, especially locally, because there were a lot of times I was like, man, I wish she could just be here.
Yes.
And I could explain, show some of the things I'm seeing, because I have a portfolio of businesses. And so some of those things I wish she could have seen in person to help them all connect. So yes, what you're doing is very valuable. The processes are so underestimated, I think, and undervalued, because they can change the foundation of a business. I've seen it. So fractional COO work in the works.
Yes, which a lot of it I'm already doing.
Okay.
So it was a very easy
it's
transition, right?
Yeah, it's
because what I'm
changing.
doing is like right below that, but then going in and doing some of these things like audits and making relevant recommendations on what people need, and also having the knowledge to be able to create SOPs and knowing different project management systems and different CRMs. Like it just makes sense.
It does.
And it's kind of like the next step.
That's
We're
where
talking
you're
about
going.
growth.
Yep.
We're talking about always growing.
Yeah.
And so that is, yes, that is where I'm going, where I am kind of.
Yeah.
I have, the inbox management and some things that I do currently have with my clients, but then I have other clients that I'm already doing this for.
Okay. So your first hire should be something like an executive assistant. It's going to happen. The perfect woman is going to come to you.
I just need to meet someone, which of course you're in business, you're networking, you get clients, you get busy, you can't network as much.
Yeah.
So I haven't been networking as much, but I do want to do a little shout out for my networking group.
I was just about to ask about your group.
Yes.
Because you are a networking
Louisville Women's Network.
Beauty, like so good at it.
Thank you.
Stalked in that way. Louisville
Women's Network. Yes.
Okay.
Very young. So the organization was started early last year. I actually was not part of the founding system. Like
Okay.
Brittany and Amanda founded the group, and I went to their very first meeting.
Yeah.
And it was at the Foxton in St. Matthews.
They
And
meet
it was
in person?
yes, it was very chill. It was very
Okay.
just very casual. And that's what I liked about it, because I've gone, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I went to a lot of networking events.
Yeah.
And they can be very intimidating.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can be so intimidating. And you walk into
Mm-hmm.
a room and all of these little groups are clicked up. And I'm not the type to infiltrate
Bust
a group.
up. Yeah.
That's not like I will just stand by myself.
Yeah.
And I find I meet some of the best people though that are also like
That are
me.
in the corner standing by
Yes.
themselves.
And I'll
Yes.
just introduce myself and be like, "Hi, you look awkward like me.
Yeah.
Like let's
We have a
get
lot
to
in
know each
common.
other."
Yeah.
And so this group, what I really loved about it is immediately I introduced myself. I let them know, what I do, and she's like, "You need to meet this girl." And so they
Hey.
personally introduced me, and I just really love the warmth and that kind of welcome in a group like that I feel like is
Yeah.
not common. And I've been to a
No.
lot of groups, and so I
Yes.
appreciated that. And so the next event I went back, and then I just kept going back. And they weren't huge; they were very
Okay.
small, kind of more like intimate setting.
Which
But I
can
loved
be
them.
even more intimidating sometimes.
It can be.
The bigger
can be.
groups, you feel like, I'm just going to squeeze right in here. No
You
one
can
will
hide
notice.
more, right?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people.
But the smaller groups, you're like, dang, I'm right out. Like, here I am.
Yes.
Yeah. So you went in there,
Yes.
intimate setting and all.
And I just love them. And so fast forward, and I just was inducted as part of the group, and they were like, "You're with us." And I was like, "Cool." And so it's Brittany, Amanda, Mary Beth, and myself. We all are women in business, 2 in the real estate field. Mary Beth does charcuterie. So if y'all ever need a good charcuterie person, would love to recommend her.
Always need
And then
charcuterie.
me. And so we now run the group together. We have decided this year to do more intentional events rather than just the casual meetup. It's still very casual in the sense of like, come as you are. If you're a
Yeah.
woman in business, we want to meet you.
Yeah.
But we did a speed networking event that was super fun.
Like speed dating?
Yes. And you got to like meet every single person that was
that.
there. We had charcuterie, of course.
Yes.
We had it at the Elixir Bar. I don't know if you've been. It's kind of like a witchy vibe. Very cute. I have to
I don't
figure
know
out
where
what
that's at.
neighborhood. Maybe like Shelby Park area.
Okay. Never heard
So
of that.
we had like a signature cocktail, and everyone could get drinks, and we
fun.
had about, I would say, 10 people in total, including us. But I loved it because you actually had that time to just meet that person, and you got to meet everyone versus being at one of those traditional events where you're just like walking around, maybe like
Where's
I
my
hope to meet
people?
someone.
Yeah.
And it just forced you to have conversation and introduce yourself and just talk
Right.
to all these people. So
love
that was really
that.
fun. We're doing a self-defense class next month. Like just women's self-defense, which is super fun.
Yeah,
We're
everyone wants
having
to
this
kick butt.
Sunday, we're doing a professional headshot event. So
Oh,
it's
love that. Yeah.
Everyone's scheduled their time. You come in for your time, you get your photo taken. We'll have some refreshments, also an opportunity to meet people. So
Okay.
really just getting women together in a common like setting,
Yeah.
and then just encouraging, just
Talking and
that's it.
Yeah.
And just being yourselves and just being cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love that group.
Is that how we found each other?
Is it? I don't know. I was actually telling my husband, I was like, I don't know how they found me. I got a message from Shannon,
Oh yeah.
and she was just like, "Do you want to be on this podcast?" And I was like, actually, I was too nervous the first time she reached out, and she actually followed up, and I'd been thinking about it for a while, and I'm so
Shannon.
glad she followed up, because when she did, I was like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm ready now. Like, yes, let's do it."
Shannon's best. Shannon has been with me since the beginning.
She was very
of the
sweet.
podcast. Yeah.
And she's very on top of it, it seems. So
yes,
kudos to Shannon.
very organized. Yeah, I love Shannon. Okay, great. I was wondering if it was in that group, or if there was another way. The WOW network is another networking group that some people come to us
One thing
from.
I found is if you're in the networking circuit, if you will, in the city, it's a lot of overlap. So I've gone to like Strong
Yeah.
Women Strong Coffee with what is that? The Louisville Business something group that runs that one. So I've been to that one a few times.
Okay.
The Beauty Boost. I know
I've
Sierra who
I've
runs the
seen
Beauty
that.
Boost. So I've been to those a couple of times, and I've noticed that there are a few people that kind of go to all of them as well.
Sure. Okay.
So it's kind of like a little bit of a
Yeah. You that's how you kind of meet. I think
Louisville's a
that's
small
why.
town,
Yeah.
so.
I was like, I'm not sure which one, because there is this similar group of people that are
for sure.
really good at networking.
And it makes sense, I feel like, because if you're in business and you're specifically an entrepreneur, like that is your life, is making new clients and making new connections.
Yeah.
And I love to power connect and like know everybody and be able to like,
how do you connect with them? Well, I guess you have a personal social. Is that how you connect with people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I use my personal social, but here's the thing too, like I don't post a lot in general. That's why I'm bad at social media.
But I really love it. I'm drawn to it.
Like people will know nothing
You're like a rock star
until they know something.
There's mystique.
I hope that's how
that's a
people
rare
feel. I don't
thing
know.
these days.
I would say once a quarter on Instagram, I'll do like a carousel of like my quarter of like here's what's been going on, and then I'll post stories. Like after I leave here, I'll probably post a story and be like, oh,
I did the same.
Look what I did. Like very cute.
I'm really
on
drawn
Facebook
to it.
though. Unless it's coming from my Instagram, just silence.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know
good
why.
to know. I needed to know that because I don't want to take it personally if you don't.
Please don't. But I will share a lot of things.
Okay.
So I'm a big
You're a
like
share,
if you're my
reposter.
people, I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna share what you've got going on. If you got an event coming up, I'll share it. Like all the things.
Where can people find you if they want to work with you? When they are going to work with you?
When they're gonna work with me.
Where can they find you? How should they reach out?
So I have a website, acampbellassisting.com. So all of my contact information is there. I also have Instagram, _A Campbell. And then Facebook is just my full name, Alyssa Danielle Campbell.
Okay. So
and then LinkedIn.
And they can reach out. I would say would the website be?
Yeah, that's my direct contact. So my cell phone's on there and then my email address. And so.
Cell phone? You trying to get snatched? What?
I'm like questioning, like, is my cell phone on?
No social, but my cell phone.
I just mainly get like spam calls.
Yeah, same here. Okay, we're gonna go to website. Now, what are 3 things that people could ask themselves, or 2 things? Or 3 things that people could ask themselves and that would let them know maybe I need to reach out? Or just one big thing?
Honestly, I feel like the main thing is if you are going to work every day and you're feeling completely overwhelmed, and at the end of your day, you still have a laundry list of things that you have not accomplished, and that list goes to the next day and goes to the next day, that's a sign, a very big sign, that you need to be working with someone. Hopefully me, but someone.
Okay.
Because there's no need for anybody in business to be struggling and to feel underwater, because there's so much help now, whether it's through automations or systems or processes or just cleaning things up. Like after this, I'm going to help a client with her physical paper files to get a system for those and figure out how we can get it into a digital format or make the actual physical just easier to deal with. I don't know what I'm walking into. This is the first time, so we'll see.
I don't love that for you, but
I love it.
I love that you're available to do something like that.
And also, I live for this stuff. Okay. So if you're a business owner and you're like, oh, she would never want to organize all of my crap. I do want to do that.
This girl.
I 100% want to do that. I used to joke, I do the things that business owners either don't have time to do or they don't want to do. Yeah. Like I'll do those things for you.
There's a laundry list of things I think most business owners don't want to do.
Yes. So if you're in that position, I can help.
Call Alyssa. I love that. Well, you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's go, girl.